Let's just ask the question, master students, what does service mean? What do academics do when they do service? Anybody want to venture an answer? Say, supervise students? No, I would put that under teaching. So teaching for me is chalk and talk teaching, undergrad teaching, big classes, all of that type of stuff, but also postgrad supervision. I'd put that under specialized type of teaching. But thanks for volunteering that.
Do you mean service to the university community or to the community at large?
Well, both. So this is what service is. Service is quite a nebulous thing. And depending where you are and your personality, service might take different forms. So every academic is required to do that type of service. So let's think of some examples. It can range from committee work. Universities are full of committees. We work on a collegiate basis, so committees do decide everything. Believe it or not, we have a committee that's called the naming committee. It comes up with names for various things. But it can be important, Senate House has become Solomon Maklangu House, so, important significance. But they also name things that are less important. But there's a committee. If you serve on that committee, you chair it or you participate in it, that's part of your service. That could be regarded as part of your service. But they're more important, well, let me not judge. There are other important committees. The University Research Committee, very important one. The Graduate Studies Committee, very important one. So that's part of service. But let's say you're a lawyer. You can do some pro bono work. The Nelson Mandela Law Clinic. So the law academics do pro bono work. The health scientists do clinical pro bono work. You go and test your skills on other people's teeth and whatnot. If you turn down opportunities because the future is unsure, well, remember I've spent quite a lot of time saying an academic career is an entrepreneurial career. You have to make it for yourself. It's in the corporate world, it's much more steps, or government world, you do these things and you advance. In the academic world, if you don't make it happen, it doesn't happen. So I don't know if you listen to the radio station, 702 around here, they always pick on the same people when they need an expert. They find somebody who can respond. So if you can be identified as one of those people, go for it, because that spreads your knowledge. Remember we talked yesterday, Rob who? Okay, that's not good. If everybody knows who you are, that helps. That definitely helps. So what is the policy on communicating? So let's say the press phone you up, or the radio station, phone you up and they say, come, speak on the radio. Do you go for it, or do you say, no, I'm sure only Sharona Patel can do that? So the policy very clearly is, if you're talking about your research, your science, go for it. Don't ask anybody. Take the opportunity. Okay. If you're talking about Adam Habib and why the university did this and etc., then be very careful. Okay. Some people aren't careful. They go for it. But there are policies around that. But if you're talking about your research, go for it. Go for it. But there are guidelines, okay? So if you get involved in one of those massive academic conversations about the nuances of the shape of this bone and whatnot, you've lost your audience. You've got to talk in sound bites. You've got to make it very accessible. And the way you go for a promotion is you take your portfolio of evidence to a staffing and promotions committee, and they look at, and you don't have to be equally good in all three, but you have to have a certain level of excellence in all three. So you can't just say, I do a lot of research, there's all my papers, and I teach a lot, and these are my student assessments, and yes, I'm really busy on service. What do you do? Well, not good enough. You have to have a portfolio of evidence. All right, so you've got to write down all these things that you do and present it. So I thought it's worthwhile spending a bit of time on that. Is that revolutionary to you? Did you know about that? Keep your CV fresh. Do you know if your CV is in Word, I see you now coming now, if, you know how you can pin a document, so that when you open up, it's always there? Yeah. Does that make sense what I'm saying there? Pin your CV there, and you should be going to it regularly. Don't do it once, only when you need it, type of thing. So, do you know ResearchGate? So this afternoon we're going to be talking about what ResearchGate can do for alt metrics. So bibliometrics, the number of papers you've published and the citations and all of the Hirsch index and all of that. There's another body of alternative metrics, alt metrics. So how many times people have read or opened documents and whatnot, you can put those things. But let's park that question. We're going to spend more time answering because it's a very important question. But the underlying thing that you're also talking about is, can you become a successful academic by just talking through Twitter or on the radio or whatever? And hopefully you'll understand that the answer is no. You have to have an underlying body of good peer-reviewed research, on top of which you can do the frilly stuff through the social media. But if you take that away, it'll collapse, okay? So please don't feel, because I do encourage people to talk on the radio, use Twitter and whatnot. WikiLeaks, not WikiLeaks, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, update profiles on that and information on that. All of that is important. Okay.